There's a sentence I hear from law firm owners more than almost anything else. We're profitable, but I'm always stressed about money. Here's what I've learned after years of sitting in these conversations. Both are true at the same time. The firm is profitable on paper. The owner is genuinely, chronically stressed about cash. That's not a contradiction. It's a measurement problem. The data they're reading every day is telling a partial story. They check the bank balance. They know this month's billed revenue. Maybe they have a basic P&L. All of that looks okay until payroll hits or a tax payment comes due, and suddenly the numbers that looked fine 20 minutes ago don't feel fine anymore. The instrument panel most law firm owners are flying with was not built to show them what's actually happening with their cash. It was built to show them what happened last month. Those are very different things. In this video, I want to show you 3 things happening inside your firm right now that your numbers probably aren't showing you. I want to start with the one that has a name most law firm owners have never heard. The metric is called Lockup, and once you understand it, you cannot unsee it. Lockup is the number of days of revenue tied up in work you've done but haven't collected yet. It combines 2 things: invoices you've sent that clients haven't paid, and work you've completed that you haven't invoiced yet. Put those together, divide by your average daily revenue, and you have Lockup. The industry average for law firms is around 130 days. Let me translate that into something concrete. If your firm does $5 million a year in revenue, 130-day lockup means you have roughly $1.7 million in cash that you have already earned, sitting unavailable to you at any given moment. It's not bad debt, it's not lost, it's just not in your account yet. Now here's what a generalist financial advisor will often miss. Lockup doesn't look the same across practice areas. A personal injury firm on contingency fees can have lockup measured in years, not days. You complete the work, wait for the settlement, and the cash doesn't arrive until the case closes. The firm can look busy and productive and still be chronically cash strained because the cycle is structurally long. A family law firm running on retainers has the opposite dynamic. The cash shows up before the work is done, then draws down as the matter progresses. That flatters the bank balance early, and the pressure hits when the retainer is exhausted and the matter isn't closed yet. An immigration firm doing flat fee work has a different shape again. The fee is front-loaded and predictable, but the margin is thin because it gets set without always accounting for how long matters actually run. Same metric, 3 completely different stories. The dashboard that tells the truth doesn't just show you a lockup number, it shows you the lockup by practice area and connects that number to the structural reasons it's what it is. That's what changes the conversation from why is cash always tight to here's exactly where your cash is and when it's coming. Here's a moment that comes up often in my conversations with firm owners. The firm feels full, the attorneys are busy. The owner feels like they're turning away work because there's nobody to do it. The instinct is to hire. And here's where I ask a different question. Before we talk about headcount, let's look at your cash runway. In a lot of law firms, the reason you can't take more work isn't about how many attorneys you have. It's about how much cash you have available to front the cost of the work before the fees arrive. 60% of law firms right now are turning down work because of capacity constraints. That's from a major law firm talent survey from last year. But when I look at the financials, I often find the constraint isn't a people shortage, it's a cash timing problem. Think about what it actually costs to take a new matter. Attorney time starts immediately. Overhead continues. In a contingency firm, you may be advancing costs on top of that, and the cash to cover it needs to exist now, not when the settlement arrives 6 months from now. A firm with $600,000 in structural lockup cannot simply hire its way out of a capacity problem. Adding an associate adds $5,000 to $8,000 in monthly fixed cost to a system that's already running on less cash than the revenue number suggests. The constraint gets worse, not better. What the right dashboard shows is cash runway by practice area, not bank balance, which is a point-in-time number. Cash runway is forward-looking. How much available cash does the firm have to fund the next 60, 90, 120 days of work in progress before it converts to collected fees? That question changes what you decide to do next. The firms that grow without the cash crises that often accompany growth are the ones where the next hire is timed to the cash cycle, not to the revenue number. The third gap is the one that surprises owners the most. Most law firm financial reports show one P&L. All the revenue goes in at the top, all the costs come out at the bottom, and whatever's left is the firm's profit margin. The problem with a blended P&L is that it hides what's actually happening by practice area. A firm can have strong total revenue and one or two practice areas quietly running at near zero margins, or even negative ones, after you account for associate time. I've seen this. A firm adds flat fee family law as a volume play because it seems like a reliable revenue stream. It grows quickly. The associate handling it is fully booked. And when we look at what that practice area generates per hour of associate time, after the scope inevitably expands beyond what the flat fee anticipated, the margin is close to nothing. Meanwhile, the firm's higher margin work, the cases that require more judgment, is getting less of the associate's time because the flat fee volume is absorbing it. The blended P&L makes the firm look like it's growing. It is growing, but the growth is not profitable across the whole portfolio. It's profitable growth in one area masking margin erosion in another. What changes when you look at this by practice area is that the decision-making becomes specific. You're not asking, is the firm profitable? You're asking, which work is profitable? Which work is worth doing for other reasons at lower margin? And which work do we need to reprice or exit? Those are three different questions, only visible when the financials are cut by practice area, not blended together. An attorney client we worked with went from $5.5 million in revenue to $18.3 million over 5 years. That growth wasn't random. It came from making the portfolio level decisions that are only possible when you know what each practice area is actually earning, not just what the firm is earning in total. The structure came before the scaling. Companies that have CFO oversight, the kind that includes this level of financial analysis, see an average 4% improvement in profit margins according to PwC research. For a firm doing $5 million in revenue, that's $200,000 that was already inside the firm's operations. It just wasn't visible in the right view. Here's what I want to leave you with. The cash that's missing from your account right now isn't gone. If your firm has lockup, which it does, some of that cash in work you've done and not yet invoiced. Some is in invoices that clients haven't paid yet. Some is tied up in a practice area where the cash cycle is structurally long, and some is sitting in a blended P&L that's obscuring which parts of your business are generating it and which parts are consuming it. The dashboard that tells the truth doesn't create cash that doesn't exist. What it does is make visible what you've already earned, where it is, and when it's coming. 82% of small businesses that fail, according to SCORE, fail because of cash flow problems, not revenue problems, not profit problems, cash flow, which means the answer was almost always in the numbers, the right numbers arranged in the right way. So the question I'd leave you with is this. If you looked at your cash conversion number today, your lockup by practice area, your capacity as a cash runway question, and your margin by the actual work you're doing, not the blended total, what do you think you'd find? I'd guess you'd find your firm is doing better than it feels, and that the gap between what the firm has earned and what's actually in your account has a name, a number, and a reason. That reason is worth knowing.